It's just not. It's not good enough. It needs to be better. We need better. Better.
I sacrificed an Xbox so you could have that thing built.
Eh. Well,
Wow.
we both sacrificed because there's actually 2 Xboxes in there actually, because he needed extra parts to build the case. So he was like, "Do you have any extra?" I'm like, "I sure do." He's like, "Okay, here you go." So anyway, so we're gonna talk about some Magic Online. Since we both kind of broke our drafting cherries over the weekend and in the past couple weeks. What else are we going to talk about? We can actually talk about the tournament we had.
Yeah.
And then the next tournament is kind of shaping up to be a commander, which will be interesting. I don't know how that's going to work, but we'll figure it out.
So is it finalized? It is going to be a commander?
Jesse said today, he goes, you know what would be sweet? He's like, if we did a 2-headed giant one. And I was like, oh, that would be kind of cool. I completely forgot about that. And so he's like, but you and Nick cannot be teammates. And I go, why not? He's like, because you're the 2 that take the game the most serious, and you can't do that. Like, oh, but that's we're cat mat friends. We share cat mats. So I don't know. I think it's gonna. I'm almost positive it's gonna be Commander. So we'll see. Anyway, so let's talk about the tournament that we had for Shadows over Innistrad. What kind of deck did you build?
Well, when we had our packs, I went red green because I really didn't have a lot of anything else that I could go with. Hold on a second. I'm getting feedback. There we go. Didn't really have a lot I could go with, so I went with a red green deck, werewolves, and I think a little bit of vampires. And so I just built it with a bunch of pump spells, just random pump spells in there. And I lucked into getting 2 of the top, the werewolf that lets you search for the top 3 of the cards. I can't think what it's called now. He's a green 2-drop. Let's well, I never actually prepared to card.
You said it was a 2-drop.
Yeah, it's a werewolf. It's
What's it do?
It looks at the top 3 cards and puts a creature card in your hand.
Looking. Choose a creature you don't control. Nope, that's not it.
And my spoiler just crapped out on me. Oh, here we go.
Oh, here. Duskwatch Recruiter.
Yes, Death Watcher. And so I got lucky the 2 of them.
You got
So
2
that
of
was
those?
Yeah, I got 2 of those.
God.
So I really didn't play with any rares, except I had one werewolf that was mediocre. The only time I got him out, I lost the game, so I really didn't care for him too much. But what was amazing about the deck was it's mainly 2, 3, and like 1 5-drop. And so because of this, I gambled and I played with only 15 land.
Oh, wow.
And I was 3 cards over.
Oh, wow. So you were playing
right?
2 land short plus 3 extra. Oh, my God. But you said your curse. Wait, what was your curse? So you had 1, 2, 3 drops?
Yeah, mainly 1, 2, and 3 drops.
That must have been nice.
Like a couple of 4 drops and 1 5-drop. I think it was one or 2 5-drops. And so I was just doing a werewolf deck, and it was easy to see that I could easily be mana screwed. And I just kind of lucked into things. I had the land that lets you search for basic land. I had the scarecrow that lets you search for basic land.
Nice.
And I got those at the right time.
Nice.
In every game that I played. What's really funny is that I really shouldn't have won the way I did, because Amanda had me dead to rights twice, and I just kind of was able to finagle around it. I wouldn't even say I bluffed. It's just lucky. I was just lucky. But she totally had me dead to rights. Twice. Uh,
My deck wasn't as good. I built a blue-white control-y deck. um, we
okay, what did you,
what?
what did you have in it? Like what made it controlling?
We basically any type of spell that said return target creature, tap target creature, or destroy target creature, or exile target creature was in my deck. I had a boatload of spells. I just yeah.
Okay,
I
so
didn't have.
field control.
What's that?
You had a field control deck.
Yeah,
You
field
just
control.
control.
Right. I didn't have too much. Like I only had one counter spell and I didn't use it. Just because I had to cut a single card, and I figured one counter spell is not worth, is worth it. If I've got board control, I'm fine. I didn't really have a lot of finishers. My curve was pretty low. I topped out with I had two of the Stitchwing scab.
Oh, scabs. Yeah.
Yeah, two of those, which are a flying creature for 4, so 3/1, and you can pay one color, one generic and one blue. Discard 2 cards from your hand, return them from the graveyard to the battlefield. I had two of those, which worked for me. And then there was the Nagging Thoughts was really good. That lets you lets you look at the top 2 cards of your library, put one in your hand, and one in your graveyard. There was another one that actually worked out really, really well. I had like 4 of these stitched manglers. It's a 2/3 for 3. Enters the battlefield tapped, but when it enters the battlefield, you can tap down a creature and doesn't untap during their next untap step.
Well, that's annoying.
Right. So I was kind of using those as almost like pseudo remove spells. They weren't doing a lot of damage. They were just kind of like play it, tap something down, and then 2 turns later I've got a blocker. My only finisher, I had a bunch of flyers, but my only real finisher, like main spell, where did it go? I just had it pulled up. Where did it go? It was Rise from the Tides. This is sorcery, 1 blue, 5 generic. Put a 2/2 black zombie creature token in the battlefield tapped for each instant sorcery card in your graveyard. I think the most I cast it twice, and the most I got out of it was 5 zombies. So it wasn't too bad, but yeah, we played 3 rounds. I won one round and lost 2 rounds. So I don't know. I probably should have almost splashed another color, just because I didn't have enough board presence to I could bounce spells, but once I ran out of cards, I had a little bit of card draw, but not enough to finish a game. So yeah, but
Well, yeah. With my deck though, see, you had something to kind of go for, something that could help you win the game. For me, I just kept doing kind of an attrition based game where I just kept throwing out a whole bunch of small things that could get big on their own if you didn't play enough spells, and then try and trick you into attacking and utilize things like Uncaged Fury to give it +1/+1 and double strike. What else did I use to kill people? The +2/+2 and reach. I can't remember what that spell is, but it's a green one.
that one works out really well.
Yeah, untap and yeah.
Yeah, I drafted a green black deck that had a couple of those in it, and those are really good because you can tap out an attack and then fake it and they swing back in or whatever, and you can essentially remove their creature.
Yeah. I used cards I would never use in just a regular build, like Inner Struggle, which is a four instant spell, which is not terrible. And what it is target creature would deal damage equal to its power to itself, so it beats itself up. But a lot of the times, a lot of the people had creatures that had more toughness than attack, because that's just how it was. But I lucked into it the 2 times against Chris when he pumped a creature up to ungodly. It was just ungodly big,
Mm-hmm.
and I was able to use that bow time. I think it annoyed him, but yeah, it came in handy. But again, I would never use it normally.
Yeah.
It's just a high cost to get rid of one creature.
Yeah, the first round I played Chris too, and I won the first game pretty handedly, and he won the second game pretty easy handedly. The third game we went all the way to time and went to the fifth turn, and he won. Yeah,
Wow.
yeah, it was, and the thing was he basically the 5 turn or the 2 turns or 3 turns or whatever it was he had, and then like the 5 turns before that he had Westvale Abbey out and 4 creatures. And like I was just able to each turn remove 1 creature, and then he would just make one, and then he was down to 1 life, and he couldn't make any more through the Abbey. He had to cast a creature, and he top decked a creature, and I was like, son of a bitch. So it was intense.
That Abbey, I was really scared, and so I had to keep doing everything I could to kill off creatures.
Yeah, that's
that Abbey is absolutely terrifying, no matter what you're playing.
yeah. And I also had the mind control spell too. So I had a backup plan for it if he had turned it into a creature, but unfortunately I didn't have a way to discard it to cast it for its madness cost when we got to that fifth turn. It just wasn't in the cards. No pun intended. So I don't know. So I really don't like the blue white, and I've drafted it a couple times. I've drafted 2 blue white decks before on Magic Online, and in this set, and you really need to have your finishing move or finisher or finishers like ASAP. Like I think that's one of the few decks where you can say, okay, I'm going to take this 6-drop or whatever before anything else. Because if you don't get that 6-drop, you're just kind of spinning your wheels through the entire game. At least that's what I've come up with the few times I've played blue white in a sealed or draft environment. But
blue white, it really hasn't been the same since Return of Ravnica. When it comes to draft, at least I feel,
mm-hmm.
It wasn't as. It's never been as powerful as it was in that time period. It's done well in standard. In constructed, I don't know. It's not my thing, which is funny because I'm more a blue player, so more power to you.
Right. Well, I mean, as far as standard goes, I mean, they had. Let's see here with. Well, there's Esper Control. That one won the last GP, but that had black in it, and the black had really. I mean, basically they have black for removal. Right. Languish, Grasp of Darkness is super awesome. I bumped my vampire deck up from 3 to 4 because how awesome that card is. Yeah, it looks like all their black is just removal, but so I don't know. It's a fun set. I really enjoy it, but so yeah. So let's talk about our commander decks. What are we building for this upcoming tournament that we haven't announced yet?
All right. Well, commander wise, I haven't really picked my commander yet, which I feel really bad about, because I haven't ever really gotten to do what I wanted with commanders. Because commanders, a lot of work.
Mm-hmm.
So the easy thing to go with would, of course, be something like Sliver Queen. That way, I'm not limiting myself. But except for the whole land.
The whole land. What do you mean?
5 colors makes it a little bit harder.
Oh, well, you don't have to use all 5 colors though.
No, you don't.
But there's lots of good slivers in all those.
Right, and that's the thing, especially with the last couple of sets, and I think I've got all of them.
And you could also use the Sliver Hive Mind in that one, the one from M15 that gives all your slivers indestructible.
Right, that would be in it.
That would be in there.
That wouldn't be the commander.
Right, but
you gotta have the queen.
Gotta have the queen.
Or overlord.
is the Overlord? All your slivers get +1/+1 for each sliver you control, or something like that.
No, that's Legion.
Legion.
Overlord allowed you to search for slivers from your deck and take control of other people's slivers.
No, well, that's not as fun. I think I would go with Queen. She's
For one more, you can search for any sliver and put it in your hand.
yeah, but it's Commander. It's Commander. I am building a blue-red deck.
Yeah, I saw you.
I found a bunch of old cards that I want to play with, but Jorian is going to be my commander. Where did she go? She's the 2/2, I think. Where the fuck did she go? Damn it, that's not good. Oh, there she is. 2/3 for 3. 1 blue, 1 red, 1 generic. Whenever you cast your second spell each turn, draw a card. So I got a bunch of cantrips. Actually, it's kind of funny because it's almost like a combination of my shenanigans deck and my red blister coil modern deck. So
I thought you were gonna have Niv Mizzet.
I'm gonna have him in there too. He's not gonna be my commander though. So
What's for Jorian?
yeah, JORI space EN.
Space.
So yeah, I've got the Return of Ravnica Niv Mizzet, but I don't want him. I want the other one, the one that it's easier to draw cards.
Oh, okay, the original.
Yeah, it's just easier to draw cards, and the flavor text is awesome too on the original. So much better than this one. So I got a bunch of like draw spells, some board wipes and things like that. This is a fun one. This is a commander card. I think before, I don't know when commander started, but I found a card from Nemesis. It's a sorcery. It costs 1 red and 1 generic. Each player chooses a card in his or her hand. Then each player reveals the card chosen. The owner of the creature. That's weird. The owner of the creature card. That's kind of weird that it specifies creature card. I wonder if it's supposed to be creature. I don't know. Anyway, the owner with the creature card revealed this way with the lowest converted mana cost puts that card into play. If 2 or more creature cards are tied, for the lowest, those cards both go into play. Stronghold Gamut. So that should be fun. But
I like it.
yeah, I don't know. It's all my creatures are going to be pretty small. I mean, Niv Mizzet's pretty big, but all my creatures should be pretty small in casting cost. So we'll see. Should be fun. But anyway,
The only thing I'd be tempted to do though is to remember we were building the deck that we called the trolling deck, where we were building it just to troll people in Legacy.
yeah,
I figured there's a way to do it for Commander to make, because Commander games are long anyways,
right.
to make it more annoying and longer, and I would be tempted to do that, except for the fact that I basically have 3 people just gunning for me from the beginning.
Yeah, that's the other thing I got to think about too, is because with red, there's right now a lot of instant damage in there, and I don't think I want to go that route. I don't know, because you deal someone 3 damage, then they're kind of gonna get pissed off, and you know how commander games go. Like
Yeah.
so.
Save it up and then use ignite memories.
Ignite memories.
Yeah, it's Storm. It's like Grape Shot, except that, especially considering like Commander usually has high cast cost. When it goes off, they have to show their hand or show 1 card from their hand at random. They take damage equal to its casting cost.
That's cool.
So if they have Emrakul, there's 15 damage right there.
No, you can't use Emrakul though.
You can't use Emrakul as a commander. I thought you could still use him in the deck.
I don't know. I think he's banned altogether. I don't know. That's the other thing too. Let me tell you, I was reading some rules for Commander just because I'm not really familiar with it.
Yeah, I'm not either.
Oh my god, there are so many damn rules. Like, did
really?
you know if you take 21 damage from like collectively from generals or commanders, you lose the game. Yeah.
Wait, what?
Yeah. So like, let's say you're playing with a group of 4 people, and between your 3 opponents, you get dealt 21 damage from their generals, right? From their commanders. You lose the game.
Okay.
I'm like, what the fuck is that? Why 21? I don't get it. Right. So we might have to do, maybe we'll have to do a whole podcast like where we read through some of these rules or whatever. But yeah, and then like I was under the impression that whenever your general died, it went back to the command zone. That's not
Well,
true.
it can.
That's well, yeah, it can. If your general dies, you can choose to put it in the command zone, or you can choose to put it in your graveyard.
Yeah, they added that rule when people like wanted to use graveyard effect spells.
Ah, I was gonna. Okay, so if you're playing black, it makes more sense to put it in your graveyard because you can, bring it back. So I don't know. There's just so many, and like the video I was watching was this guy who was like basically going over some of the rules or whatever, and he's like, some of the most common rules are. I'm like, these are the most common rules. Like, oh shit.
Oh, for the love of God, Talarian Academy's banned.
Yep.
Ooh.
Yep.
Ooh. Yeah.
Seething Song is not banned. I am totally excited about that.
That's bullshit.
So.
Recurring Nightmares banned. Good lord.
Primeval Titans banned.
Prophet of Crufix is banned.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Prophet of Crufix.
No.
What?
Can we change can everyone pick one card that they want to have unbanned?
Why? What card would you unban from Commander?
Trade Secrets.
I'm not sure what that one does.
Don't look it up. Don't worry about it.
I'm gonna
Just
look.
trust me.
Just tell me what it does, so I don't have to look it up.
It allows everyone to draw 2 cards, and then it allows me to draw up to 4 cards. Now, opponents may repeat that process as many times as they choose.
Oh, you've played this spell before.
I have played this spell
Oh,
before.
you're such a dick. Wait, how many cards do you draw?
4, up to 4.
Oh, so you can choose. Well, someone could mill you out then.
There's ways around that, but you can stop it. You can stop the process.
Oh, okay. So you have to. So you can say, I'm choosing up to.
I choose not to draw, and then it stops.
Oh, so if you choose not to draw, then the whole thing just ends. They can't say, "Oh, well, we're going to draw again."
They can keep doing it. They can draw as many times as they want.
Oh.
People who play Trade Secrets usually have things that'll punish them.
Oh my God.
Wow, Grizzleban is banned. Gifts Ungivens banned. God, this is game.
I don't understand why Gifts is unbanned. I guess it's because Commander's like more of a cooperative, competitive.
Balance is banned. Biorhythm is banned. Oh, this is all sad.
So is Commander not what you hoped and dreamed?
Oh, it's fine. I just
Oh, the other thing that I'm putting, and you'll be happy because I never got around to build it. I never got around to building this my Zeta deck like full out with Narset, but I'm putting Zeta in this deck, and I've got Tarlin's Sky Summoner, the one that whenever you cast an instant or sorcery, you get to 2/2 Drake, and then Young Pyromancer's in here too. So. And then like Goblin Fodder and all that make like tokens and stuff like that. So I can possibly go wide, but yeah, I thought about making it a blue. I thought about putting Narset as my commander, and just not using white at all, just using her. But I don't know. We'll see.
What I find interesting here is the wishes are not banned.
Wish? Oh, like glittering wish and stuff like that.
Yeah. So. How would that work? Would I have to have because there's no sideboard for a commander?
Mm-hmm. There is. There's a 15-card sideboard.
Oh, is there?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Okay.
That's another thing I learned too. I'm like, why? Because most commander games are only one round, right?
Yeah.
So I don't know. There is a 15-card sideboard.
Why?
I don't know, dude. I don't probably for gifts ungiven or gifts. whatever.
For wishes.
Wishes. Whatever. It's probably just for that. So you can actually play those cards.
And I will.
And you probably will. So yeah, so I'm kind of excited. I've never I built a black commander deck before, but it was just
I liked it.
yeah. I mean, it was really like one of my legacy decks. I guess one of my first decks that I ever built. I just only had like because before I bought cards, I just would put a whole bunch of cards in, 60 cards together, and that's my deck. So I basically turned it into a commander deck because there's a bunch of single cards in there. So, but yeah, I'm kind of excited about this. A lot of synergy. I got Jace, Architect of Thought in there. Pretty excited to use him finally. I went through all my binders of all the cards that rotated out of standard. I was like, "Ooh, this is." I didn't realize I had a Jace. I will play this. So, the one
What's good is that for people who don't have decks or who don't build commander, we've got enough of the pre-made ones that they can use as they choose.
right? Yeah, that's actually what Jesse said. He was planning on using. Like, he doesn't have one right now, but he's like, well, I could just use the pre-constructed one that he has. So
yeah, I've got 3 that people can borrow if they need it. So I mean, and Chris has I think all of them.
damn.
Yeah, Chris has all of them.
Well, and they're all pretty solid decks. I mean, for pre-constructed, generally pre-constructed decks are terrible, but for commander players, there's a lot of good cards in there.
Well, it's a different timeline. That's the thing. Like the game, like I said earlier, the games are longer.
Mm-hmm.
Like the other commander I was thinking about was Geist. Geist of St. Taft.
Ooh, that's a good one.
I know, right? I thought so. Because I'd be able to play him relatively early. If he dies, 2 more, so that turns a 3 into a 5. That's not bad.
That's not bad at all. Actually.
But I don't know. I like Geist. It's in my color scheme, blue. But realistically, anything I play is going to be played like a blue deck. Think about my my Primeval Titan deck. Is it or is it not played much like a blue deck?
Oh, it's played very much like a blue deck.
There you go.
And the fact that your Boggles deck has blue in it.
Yeah, it doesn't work very well, but I'm still working on that.
I'm pretty sure it works pretty good. Just saying. What else? Anything else going on? we could talk about the GP, but I really don't. There's really not much to talk about.
The GP, let's see here. The GP was, I didn't really watch it, but I mean, Esper Dragons won.
Yeah.
Which is nice, I guess.
There's the only cards that they started using from the new set are looks like just 2 of the lands, Port Town.
And see that, and that's it. Like the lands are the most utilized things in standard right now, as opposed to anything else. I don't know.
I find it interesting that they dropped from 4 Jaces down to 3.
Hey, that works for me because that's all I got.
Right. What else is going on? White green tokens. That's a thing.
See, now I like white green tokens. I wish I had one.
My Gideon might be going up, maybe. Oh, yeah, that's the. Yeah.
Yeah, that's good.
Gideon.
It has 4 Gideons and it has 4 Nissas.
Yep.
And it has 4 Dromoka's commands and 2 Secure the Waste, which I still. What?
4 Archangel Avacyn at $40 a piece.
Wait. Yeah, no. Let's go back and look at Secure the Waste. So Secure the Waste when I bought it was.
Holy shit! That's
right. $10.
I've got a couple of those. I'm trading those bad boys in.
Like 6 extra. As when I bought them, I ended up opening a whole bunch, and I was like, oh well, nobody wants to buy these. And
hey, our Sylvan Advocates have gone up. They're worth $8 now.
Yeah.
We bought those for a couple for $1 or $2.
That's good.
What other decks are out there that did good? Grixis Control. So there was Mono White Humans.
Hey, you played a human stack on Friday Night Magic.
Yeah,
Right?
that was kind of fun. That was well, and that was with a subpar version of our. I keep saying mine. It's our red black vampire deck.
Yeah.
It didn't have. It only had one Liliana in it. One. God, what the hell's her name? One Olivia and one. Not Kithion. Cletus. So like my top, there was no top end. Like it was literally I'm playing like 1 and 2 drops, which made it. I mean, the aggro side of it was super fast, and also didn't have the 1 drop that gives all your vampires madness. So it was kind of like an aggro deck
Yeah,
without.
that's an annoying addition to that, by the way.
Oh my god, it's so badass. That is like I don't know why that card is not worth more. Probably because it's not really a good deck. It really is not. I mean, it's
It kills ramp really well. But a
well.
lot of things kill ramp now. So.
Yeah, the one thing that because like I built it on Magic Online and I've been playtesting it quite a bit. The one thing that I run into is Game 2 is super hard because people bring in all their plummets and all their flying hate. So what I've been doing, and the funny thing is, what I've been doing is on Game 2 I will side out all like two, like I'll side out everything but one of each of my legendary creatures.
Okay.
And bring in. I put in the 1/3 prowess vampire.
Oh, the 2-drop.
Yeah. So I put 4 of her. There's 4 of her in my sideboard. So I sub out 4 of my flyers and put 4 of her in, and then put in just a whole bunch more removal. So like it's pretty much, I have like maybe 8 or 9 creatures, and the rest is just straight removal.
Oh,
So yeah, it's a lot of fun. And then Game 3, I'm like, well, do I take them out or put them back in? Like, I don't know. So I haven't got it to Game 3, like a Game 3 type of strategy. But yeah, definitely. If I'm playing against a green deck, those flyers are coming out. So, but anyway, that's that. So, how much is Kithion going for? Because he's in this deck. He's back up to $15. That's not too bad. Yeah.
I'm glad I bought mine when he was worthless. I haven't played with him. He's in there somewhere. I'm looking at my stack of cards I need to go through.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
I personally like the modern tournament. Like, yeah, this is all fine and dandy, but I watched the Milwaukee game, the first Star City games, and I saw a lot of good games. I mean, it was kind of somewhat the same thing, but I mean, with the unbannings recently, it wasn't full of Sword of the Meeks or and whatnot.
oh yeah, Thopter Foundry. Oh yeah, there's no Eldrazi. There were in the top 8. There was no Eldrazi.
No, there wasn't because it wasn't really played.
1, 2, 3. We had 3 Asben Company.
Yeah, that's actually kind of taking the place. It's annoying. It's got the infinite combo for infinite life, infinite damage. So it literally is almost, and I do mean this with no end of hate, Birthing Pod. It's almost as bad as Birthing Pod.
You think so?
Yeah, it's almost as bad. Because I would be annoyed playing it. I watched the final where the Tron was going against it, and the Tron was doing really, really well, and it got obliterated. And it got obliterated pretty handedly. And it just has a lot to do with those infinite combos, which I find hilarious. It's hilarious that everyone was so up in arms about Amulet Bloom for the 1 in a million chance where you actually go off the first 2 or 3 turns,
right?
As opposed to a deck that you pretty consistently can get to a point where you go infinite. Which this one, again, without the amulet or the birthing pod, it's not as bad. But if you look at this list, it's almost exactly the same list as birthing pod. The only difference is that instead of birthing pod, you've got Chords of Calling, which you had in that deck, but you now have 4. and Collected Company. So Collected Company is your new
Birthing pod, yeah.
birthing pod, and you get rid of a lot of the high end cast creatures. So you now have Anafenza, 2-drop. You still have your Birds of Paradise, your Eternal Witness. You get a Fiend Hunter, which is pretty good utility creature. To Malira.
So hold on, why? That's I was just looking at Malira.
Mhm.
You can't get poison counters. Is that like is that a thing? Like I know infect there was one infect deck in the top 8. Yeah, there's one.
No, it's to do the infinite combo because you can sacrifice, let's say Kitchen Finks,
Mm-hmm.
and instead of it won't get a -1/-1 counter, so you can sacrifice it to Viscera Seer until you can get your Murderous Red Cap on top of your library, and then do that Murderous
Oh.
Red Cap do infinite damage.
Oh. Oh.
Yeah, that's
Oh my
why.
god. Okay. Now I just put. Did you hear the light bulb go bloop?
Yeah, I did. I did. I really did.
I was just like, why
Um,
the fuck? Like, its main like was poison like a huge thing that they were like, oh well, they're gonna unban Sword of the Meek and Infect is gonna be massive. No, I'm just retarded. They even have Avacyn Angel in here, or Archangel Avacyn in here. That's interesting. Well, a single copy. You think that's just to try her out?
Probably. And again, situational.
Yeah. Huh. That's interesting.
Yeah. So again, this Asban Company deck, it sounds all brand new and whatnot, but it really isn't. In its heart of hearts, yeah, some things are not there, mainly the big expensive creatures, but when you look at it, it's the same damn thing.
Yeah.
It's the same thing. It plays the same way, and well, you can always tell the people who really loved birthing pod decks because they speak so positively of anything that is even remote to it.
Yeah.
Which is why Splinter Twin was so popular right afterwards, because Splinter Twin's along the same lines. So I don't know. I don't think they're going to ban anything for it, at least not unless it keeps happening. Like if we ever get to a point where, well, I don't know. It didn't take much to ban Amulet Bloom, except a bunch of people belly aching about the fact that hey, that guy who lost 6 rounds ago stopped me from being able to go on and potentially win. I don't know, top 8. So
Well, the other thing is they canceled all pro tours for Modern. Did they say anything about?
unbannings, no.
No. Did they say anything about GPs? Is there going to be Modern GPs?
For a little while, it sounds like they're still gonna do the. I think that they're still gonna have it, but I think by 2017 they're just gonna be standard only.
Wow.
Well, I mean, look at they've been doing a lot of changing for those eternal formats, anyways. I mean, Legacy they stopped the ability to use proxies.
Right.
I mean, the only reason Epic Loot I think still does 10 proxies is because they're not televising it
Mm-hmm.
and they're not doing it for points; they're just doing it for the store.
Right.
Because they had a legacy tournament over the weekend during the board game weekend, and that place is packed.
Wow. Really?
Packed, yeah, packed. Um,
So when you use a proxy for that type of situation, do you have to display the real card?
no, for when they allow it,
Hmm.
they're not always going to allow that kind of thing. What it is you just have a proxy. Like I don't own a Black Lotus, but here's a Black Lotus.
Oh, really?
I
That's
wrote
cool.
Black Lotus on the back of this land card, and it's now a Black Lotus.
Sweet.
When they do it,
Seems kind of
that's the thing.
fishy.
You gotta make sure. Well, no, I mean as long as you get a total of 10, so
That's cool.
when they do it, and that's not bad, I guess.
Cool. All right, dude. Do you have anything else you want to cover?
Well, my Magic Online went well.
Oh yeah, let's talk about Magic
yeah.
Online. I forgot about that.
You were there.
I was
for,
there
for that, and you were watching the Avengers while I was trying to navigate how to play.
Which the Avengers was awesome.
Huh?
The Avengers is awesome. I never saw that movie. Not the first
Awesome.
one, the second one. Anyway.
So I drafted, and I drafted as you could probably guess, red green. It was almost exactly the same thing as what I had played in the tournament, but it was missing all the pump spells and things like that. So I had to kind of do it a little differently. Um, and I went undefeated in the little what do you call it, the pre-draft or whatever
New
it is.
player draft or whatever.
Yeah. And here's a dragon who's popping over and saying hi. Go ahead and say hi. But yeah, it went well. I haven't really played with anything. I was saving my packs because I thought I could use them in the drafts.
Yeah, that's what I thought too.
But
That's...
come to find out, we can't. So I'm just gonna go ahead and open them after we're done today.
You should open them now. Can you open them now? Fuck it, open them.
Okay, hold on. Let
See
me
what you
log
get.
into it. And just in case anybody wants to play against somebody who has no decks, just Magic Online, because I don't. My username is actually Magic Vice, capital M, capital V. So
You're
yeah,
my
we
Magic
got that
Vice.
going for you. Huh?
I said you're my Magic Vice.
I don't know. I'm looking forward to the Commander thing. How do you think we're gonna do it? Do you think we're just because I know that you are throwing around the idea of doing two-headed giant.
Mm-hmm.
But how would you pick teams? Because the thing is like something like that, you'd want to coordinate with whoever you're going to be playing with, anyways.
Right. You would probably like. Basically, I don't know. If you're doing a two-headed giant thing, you would have to like. I would leave it up to players to figure out who their partner is. So.
Any limitations? Like certain people can't play with certain people.
No, there wouldn't be any limitations.
Oh well, let me take this opportunity, Joe, and say, I would be open to have you as my partner.
Oh, wait, hold on. Let me. I'm not. Before I say yes, you're talking about your two-headed giant Magic the Gathering partner.
Yeah.
Okay, good. Because I thought you were gonna make this like uncomfortable for everybody.
No, not just yet.
Oh.
Oh, that's the wrong goddamn password. God bless it.
Yeah. So in my final new player draft, so with the new player drafts, you don't get to keep the cards you draft. You basically, if you win a game, you get a pack. If you win 2 games, you get 3 packs. And if you win all 3 games, you get 5 packs of these 5 card packs.
I love how you say that with such venom.
I was so disappointed. Like I was like, and I was going like, I'm like, oh, I need to 3-0 this one. I got 5 last time. I need to 3-0 this one. I ended up getting like 17 packs or something like that out of the whole thing or whatever. But the last draft I did, the first pack I opened was a foil Nahiri. Like, no. And generally, foils are cheaper. The foil versions are cheaper than the regular versions in Magic Online. I don't know why, but that's just.
Except for Ugin.
Like, oh, really?
I think Ugin is expensive no matter what.
But yeah, even the guy that I was.
Expeditions online on Magic Online.
I'm sure you can. And the guy I was playing against, he's like, "Oh, that sucks because you're not going to get to keep that." I'm like, "Yeah, I know, but I didn't actually end up using her. I drafted a red-black deck and didn't use her, unfortunately."
One thing I'd like to be able to do is change my avatar because I don't know how to do that.
I don't know.
My avatar is the Bird of Paradise right now.
What's wrong with Bird of Paradise?
I've got a Jace as one of my avatars I can use.
Oh, yeah? I think you're special, huh?
What do you have for your avatars? Who do you have?
I've got the same ones you do. That's the one thing they didn't change. Although they did give you freaking full art lands in your welcome pack. I just got crappy Khans of Tarkir ones. Damn it. That makes me angry. I had to buy my freaking mountains. They're super cheap, but I'm just saying. What are you getting? What'd you get?
It's still loading. I don't know why it's taking forever.
Probably because we got Skype going.
Well, hold on. Let me close out some windows.
Oh, I was gonna say don't close Skype. We're currently using that.
what's your big hopes for Eternal Masters?
Eternal Masters? I really don't have
Yeah.
any. I'm not really that interested in it.
What?
I don't know. I just.
I got a pack, a box pre-ordered.
Did you? Nice.
Yeah.
The one thing I'm hoping that's in there is because I would like more of is the medallions from Mirage.
Tempest.
Tempest. Yeah, like the Jet Medallion, Sapphire Medallion, those things or whatever. I would like a because I've got a whole bunch of the black ones and a couple of the red ones. I would like the full set of all 5 of them.
Well, they're in the new Commander decks.
Are they?
Yeah, with the ones with the Planeswalkers.
Hmm.
So you could probably find decent looking ones. I mean, you wouldn't be able to find a foil one, of course, but should be able to find like the new art ones.
Mm-hmm. I don't know. I'm trying to think if there's any other. I'd like a. I want the old art for Mox Diamond, but I don't think they'll.
That's the thing. I would have went the old art for Mox Diamond too.
Yeah, I don't think they will do that though, unfortunately. Especially since they redid the art for Force of Will. They would just use the new art for Mox Diamond, which makes me angry.
The thing is, I don't see the point of utilizing actually reprinting art.
I didn't hear you. What'd you say?
So I don't see the point of doing new art unless you are actually planning on reprinting the card. And the fact that they're not planning on reprinting things like Force of Will, it makes no point to do that.
Yeah.
I'm hoping for the blue counterspell. I can't think what it's called.
Counterspell.
Huh?
Counterspell.
No, mana drain. I think something like that.
Mana drain.
Stuff, and then you get not mana drain.
Mana leak.
Is that it?
Mana leak's the one that you counterspell unless they pay 3. I don't think that's it.
So I'm in my collection. Let's see here. Product. There we go. Instrad. Yes, open one.
What'd you get?
I got a Hermit of Materia, whatever. Highland Lake, uncommon. Gastaff, Arsonist, uncommon, or common. Ghostly Wings, and Ghoul Caller's Acolyte. All common. Okay.
You didn't get any rares in that pack?
Nope.
Oh, that's weird. Oh, that's right. These are the 5 card packs.
Got a catalog.
There you go.
A bunch of crap. Yeah, not proud of that one. Let's see here.
This is going to leave a bad taste in your mouth for Magic Online. Like, screw that game and give me junk.
Oh, Haunted Cloak. Okay. Whip creature has Vigilance, Trample, and Haste, so that's an artifact I'll never use. Fiery Temper.
That's a good one. Fiery Temper's a good one.
For a common.
Arlen Cord.
Huh?
The flip planeswalker.
No. Actually, I haven't gotten a rare. These are all common and commons.
Oh, that sucks.
Did you get rares in your?
I don't remember.
You make me feel like I'm getting something. Oh, there we go. Lightning Axe.
Okay, Lightning Axe. That's a thing.
I need another one of those. Yeah.
Are they just commons and uncommons?
Yeah.
That stinks. I don't actually remember opening mine. I opened them, but I don't remember what I got. Wah wah wah.
Boom 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 boom. Oh, fun times. Well, regardless, we'll talk more about what we're gonna do if we do Commander. I do like the idea of it, and because we wouldn't have to buy anything, we could actually have the tournament relatively quickly.
Right.
We just needed to get people on it, and then I don't know. People could like buy 2-3 packs and then put those in the prize pool.
Mm-hmm.
And that'd be simple. And if we're doing two-headed giant, that'd be even better because then they just split the prize packs.
That would be true. I don't know. If you're interested in playing, we generally do these tournaments at Buffalo Wild Wings in Dayton, Ohio.
Woo.
Whoop, whoop. If you go to Facebook, just search for 72 DPI online. That's our clan's Facebook page, and request an invite or whatever, and we can get you in. And you can join in the conversation and vote. We're going to keep the poll open until Friday, I think, and then once Friday rolls around, we'll close it, and that'll be our decision. But right now it's Commander. I'll add two-headed giant in there tonight as a late entry into the ballot. So yeah, all right, dude. Appreciate you guys watching on Twitch. You can watch us every other Tuesday, the first and third Tuesdays, which we need to talk about going with your possible, I don't knock on wood, employment change. It might put a wrench in our time slot, but we'll figure something out. But anyway, for now, it's going to be the first and third Tuesdays every month. On twitch.com/BC podcast, and you can watch our old shows on youtube.com/72DPI online. And yeah, you can also watch my wife and I, we do a video game podcast every Wednesday, same time or same channel at 8 p.m. called Ball and Chain.
You guys didn't talk a lot about Dark Souls like I thought you would.
No, we didn't. I'm going to buy that game. I am going to buy it because.
Buy it, play the old ones. I'll let you.
Really? I just thought I like the new one. I feel like it's a thing. Do I really need to know the story? I mean, is it really that important? Because I don't have to plug in my PS3.
The only reason I'm saying this is Dark Souls 3 is literally the hardest thing I've ever played.
That's fine. I like it hard.
Yeah.
Really? Nothing? I set that one up for you. You're not going to say anything?
So it gets you used to the play style before it gets super hard. That's what I was going to suggest. But you can do what you want. Do you play when you're live online?
I couldn't get the online to work. That's how dumb it was.
So you're not being attacked all the time. Okay, that's not bad.
Hold on. Time out. So when you're playing online, you can attack.
People invade the crap out of you. Yeah, they'll attack the crap out of you and they'll kill you all the time.
Really? That sounds so awesome. I can't wait to try that.
It was really bad in 2. 2 is the original, Demon Souls. Oh my god, that every time I turned around, I was being invaded.
So So do you have to accept someone in, or do they just show up?
No, they just show up, and so you view by the time I got to Dark Souls 2, I had figured out a way to hide, and I was really good at it. And so people would invade, and I'd watch them, and they'd actually go right by me, and I was able to hide myself really well. And I wasn't about to start any fights because I always played sorcerers, so I was.
You're a squishy.
It did not take much, and my spells, even though they were powerful, everyone had magic resistance up the wazoo. So I just stopped fighting people.
Huh.
I just caused them no end of grief. So whenever anybody invaded me, it was traumatizing for both of us.
Yeah. Whenever I started the game on the Xbox One, it would try to connect to some network or whatever, and then it would say connection failed. Would you like to play offline? And I'm like, sure. I didn't even realize it had competitive. I don't even.
It has PvP and co-op.
Oh, does it have co-op? That's cool.
Yeah.
I don't know. That seems like fun, but I don't think that would be good for me starting out to go into the PvP arena type of thing. That would be bad.
Oh, just do it. It's fun.
Sure. You're talking to the person that couldn't beat the first NPC.
I know, that was hilarious for me.
Yeah. So, no, I'm definitely gonna buy it. It's a matter of when. Maybe at the end of May. We'll see. Hopefully we get some type of extra income. And then we'll be able to play. So, yeah. All right, dude. Well, I appreciate you guys watching on Twitch. You can see watch us every other Tuesday. The first and third Tuesdays. Which we need to talk about going every other Tuesday. and purchase it. But it was a lot of fun. I think it'll. And the one thing I talked about a little bit in that show was I was trying to figure out if I wanted to buy Quantum Break or Dark Souls, and I don't. Quantum Break is kind of like one, and you can probably play it twice, and that's about it. But this game,
Yeah,
like
linear. It's very linear.
very very linear, and but Dark Souls is like you could play, and I know there's always isn't that the game that has like once you beat it you can go like Game Plus or whatever.
Yeah, you do Game Plus, New Game Plus, so you get to keep all your crap.
Right.
And then you play, but you take more damage.
Right.
From even the weakest attacks, and your enemies take less damage. No matter how powerful your weapon is, it still does.
You always have like a handicap on.
Less, yeah. I mean, the stats are the same, but they just have high resistance.
Yeah. So.
And eventually, it gets really, really annoying. I think in the original one, I got to New Game Plus, like 3 pluses.
Oh my
and
God.
I couldn't get any better than that. I got in the first stage and I just was obliterated, and I could never level up.
Yeah, so you've got that going for it, or you can even, I mean, there's like, 12 different classes you can play as. So even if you didn't want to go like the extra difficulty level, there's so much replayability in that game. It's fucking ridiculous.
I mean, the level cap, I think, is 800.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
So.
The level cap is 800. The original one, the level cap was 999.
Sweet. So I think I know I'm going to go with it. It's just a matter of when. But right now I'm playing Sunset Overdrive, and that game is totally awesome. So, anyway.
I need to go back to that.
We will talk more about that tomorrow. So.
You guys have fun with that.
Yep. All right, dude. Well, thanks for watching, everybody. We will see you not next Tuesday, but on the 17th of May. Da-da-da. Thanks for watching, everybody. Bye.